What's up, everybody? Welcome to Liberate Your Money, episode 54. It's a Saturday morning. We're going to talk about some Defi Kingdoms. I'm just going to go over kind of what I do with the game, how I play it, and then kind of go over Crystalvale, which is the expansion onto a subnet of Avalanche. Just going to kind of go over the new things that they're telling us about it, go over the perilous journey a little bit, and then if we have time at the end, maybe I'll go through some charts. When you get signed up for Defi Kingdoms, this is the home map. You click on places, it'll take you to different places in the map where you can do different things. Basically, the two things that I take advantage of, I guess there's three things that I take advantage of now that I've been playing the game for a while. When I first got into the game, I basically just deposited some Harmony 1 tokens, and then I went to, it would be the tavern, it would be the marketplace. And with my 1 tokens, I went to the trader, and I guess I would go from Harmony to Jewel, and this is just the in-game DEX. And what I did is I took about half of my Harmony and I bought Jewel with it. So I had half my stack was Jewel, half my stack was Harmony. So once I had half Jewel, half Harmony, I went over to the gardens. Well, actually, there's a step that you have to do before you go to the gardens. You have to go to the druid first, and you have to buy seeds. And basically what you would do is that you would deposit your 1 up on this one, and then I would deposit my Jewel on this one. And what it would do is it would balance it out so that I have an equal amount of 1 and Jewel, and I would enter that, and what it would do is it would give me some seeds, and those seeds would show up in my MetaMask wallet. And then once you have the seeds, then you go to the gardens, and you go to the seed box. You would click on the Jewel 1, you would click, it would say deposit like this one. Since I've already got some deposited, it says manage. So you would click on deposit, and then you would add your seeds here, and then you would instantly begin accruing. You'd be farming 1 in Jewel, and you accrue Jewel. That is the harvest rate per block, 0.3169. So that's what I began doing, just basically accumulating Jewel. I had a couple $1,000s worth of 1 and Jewel, and I've just been accumulating Jewel for the past couple months through the gardens, and I think I've accumulated like 150 to 200 Jewel in just those 2 months. So it's been a pretty nice return. It's been at like a 290% APR, 270, right around there for pretty much the entire time I've been farming. So then I also wanted to start doing some of the quests and stuff that you do with the NFTs. So the other part of this game is the NFTs, and if you go to the tavern and you go to the agent, you can buy heroes. When you click on buy heroes, it'll take you to the NFT marketplace where you can buy different heroes. And there's so many different traits. I can do a whole podcast on just heroes and traits and what to look for and different strategies. There's tons of different ways you can play this. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. Obviously there are better heroes than other ones, but it's kind of a hierarchy of heroes. You got your Dark Knights and your ninjas and your higher class heroes. Your Dragoons, Dread Knights, Dark Knights, Summoners, they're Paladins. Those are better classes than other ones. But so anyways, I found the heroes I wanted, and with these heroes they have different professions. So if I flip this card, see this guy is a gardener because it's lit up green. So there are certain stats that make a hero a better gardener, and I believe it's what is it, wisdom. And if you go to the docs, the DeFi Kingdoms docs has all the information that you will ever need about the game. Getting started, gameplay, heroes, here we go. So here are the professions, gardening, or actually if we just go to professions, requires wisdom and vitality. So the more wisdom and vitality your gardener has, the better gardener they're going to be. So basically what I did is I found 2 heroes. Basically I found one profession, or 1 hero for each profession except for mining. And I don't know if I'll get into mining. Mining is where you mine gold, and I think you can mine jewel too now. But basically I just do gardening. Well, gardening, all it does is, since I'm farming jewel in the gardens, it actually helps me accrue jewel faster when I have one of my heroes gardening. So I'll start the quest. The quest goes for, this guy was doing it overnight, this gardener of mine. So I'll show you what I do. I would go to the professions page. Since he was gardening, see there's this little exclamation point letting me know that it's done. I've got this active quest. So now I'm going to collect my hero. See, he was gardening overnight for me, collecting some more jewel for me. So now I'm going to collect the hero. And MetaMask is going to give me the amount of 1 it takes to complete the transaction. And the Harmony network's usually pretty quick. I've rarely had issues. And boom, there's my rewards. I gained 0.05 jewel, 154 XP. That might be enough to upgrade my gardener. He's getting really close to leveling up. I got some Gaia tears and a blue stem. Cool, so not a bad little deal. So let's see if any of my other heroes are ready. See, my stamina is full. When their stamina is full, that means they're ready for a quest. They can do a full quest. I did my gardener this morning already, so he'll be full in 7 hours. So it looks like I've got a fisherman, gardener, and another fisherman. So we'll do the fishing guys. So what I would do is I would go to my fisher, start a quest. Now I can select up to 6 heroes to do this. I'm only going to do 2 that specialize in the fishing because it costs less stamina to do. I can send any of these heroes on any of these quests. They don't have to, like, just because this guy's a fisherman doesn't mean that he only does fishing. I could send him to the gardens, but it would cost me 7 stamina to do each round of gardening instead of 5. Since his profession is fishing, it costs less stamina to do it, so I can potentially get more rewards. So that's why I try to find heroes that have good stats in their profession so that they're good at it, and I can keep leveling them up and getting better at their profession because it costs less stamina to get more rewards. So I got my 2 selected, continue with the 2 fishermen. Now I'm going to begin the quest. It usually takes about 2.5 minutes per quest, but since I've got 2 heroes in it, it's going to take about 5 minutes, so it compounds that time. So these should be done by the end of the episode, and we can retrieve them, and then I'll see what rewards I've got. But after this, I'm going to see if I have enough XP to level up that gardener. And I can kind of show you guys the process of leveling up a hero as well. So, why would I want to level up a hero? So if we go, we see it's Gen 1. I tried to get all the lowest generation. There's Gen 0, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen all the way up to like 40, I think. The lesser the higher the generation, the lesser the value. So Gen 1s are the next best, next to the Gen 0s. Gen 0s are significant because they have unlimited amount of summons. You're not going to find a Gen 0 on the market for less than like $15,000, I bet. So they're hot commodities. They're probably, the floor price might even be higher than that. I haven't looked in a while, but they're outrageous because they have unlimited summons. And the higher generations typically have lower summons. See, this guy's Gen 4 and he's only got 3 summons. But I picked this guy up because I really wanted another fisherman, and his stats were out of control for the fisherman. And so I picked him up, and he's been doing really good for me. And leveling them up makes them better, makes them stronger. You get higher stats each time that you level up. You get to pick which stats, and we're going to kind of go over that. Let's see if I have enough. Oh, I don't have enough. I need 24 more XP, so I won't be able to level them up in this episode, so oh well. I'll do that another time. So yeah, I basically, after I did the gardens, I basically started accumulating heroes. I wanted Gen 1s that were good in their profession so that I could keep leveling them up and just send them every day. You know, I just come to the professions page, and when my guys have all their stamina up, I just send them on these quests. And you know, I do it in the morning when I wake up. You know, I'm checking my emails, I'm doing shit. I'll send them on their quests, and then I'll go to work, and then while they're recouping their stamina, you know, I'll get home from work, and then I'll send them on quests again. And so basically, I get like at least two quests for each profession per day. And I've just been accumulating the inventory. These are all the things that you get when you go on these quests. And some of them are more valuable than others. And I could go to the marketplace and sell them for gold. I did that at the beginning. I was selling all my ragweed and my bloaters because I don't think they have a use other than to sell. All these other ones kind of hint at having qualities for having potion characteristics. You can mix them and create vials that if you can give to your heroes to either restore some of their mana, or you can restore some of their HP, because eventually you're going to be able to send these heroes on fighting quests, and they're going to get injured, and some of them will die, and some of them will come back, you know, with less HP than they had before. So you're going to need to like give them vials of stuff to recoup some of that lost stats. So I've just been accumulating most of them, selling some of them for gold, and then that's pretty much it, right? I'm trying to accumulate stuff before Crystalvale. And Crystalvale is going to have its own set of gardens. It's going to have its own token called Crystal. It's going to have its own 3 new classes of heroes, I think is what they're hinting at. You're going to have 3 new hero classes. I don't know if they added some professions or not. So yeah, it's basically going to be a whole new world, and it's ran on a subnet of Avalanche. So Crystal is going to be, instead of, you know, you got Jewel that's based on the Harmony network, and then you've got Crystal, which is going to be on the subnet of Avalanche. So you got these 2 different ecosystems cross-chain, and here is the token hard cap, and it also makes the Jewel token deflationary because they're moving Jewel from Harmony to its own chain, I believe, is my perception. I could have that wrong. It could still be on Harmony. I'm not really sure, but basically it's becoming deflationary because on this new chain in Crystalvale, you will be using Jewel for your gas instead of Harmony. See, right now when I do quests, I have to have one to have gas to do the transactions. And in the new one, I'll need Jewel to do the transactions instead of one. And this essentially makes Jewel deflationary. So it gives Jewel more utility, it gives it more value in my opinion, and I think this is a base case to kind of accumulate Jewel. And also, Jewel is only 250% from its all-time low. Like, that's super low for one of blockchain's most exclusive cross-chain games in all of crypto. Like, I think that, like, I seen that and I was like, you look at most chains and they're like thousands of percent away from their all-time low. I mean, even after this correction, a lot of things are up a lot from their all-time lows. And one of crypto's biggest games, Defi Kingdoms, is only like 250% from the all-time low, so it's still like super undervalued in my opinion. I mean, Jewel's only, it's under $1 billion. It's under $500 million right now. That's insane to me. And the game is actually kind of fun. It's a passive game. You don't have to be there like once you send all your people on quests and stuff and you're gardening passively, you know, I don't have to be here to do anything. It's like decentralized. It's a decentralized exchange. It's decentralized investing, and I don't have to like be attentive to it too much. And some people like, you know, some people have all the time in the world and they can sit here and play this game all day, but like I don't. I got shit to do. But it's cool that it's like one of them games that you can just like send your heroes on quests, level them up, you know, passively earn Jewel while I'm gardening. And then another thing that I've been doing as well, the third thing that I do, is you've come to the jeweler, and this is, instead of gardening, you can stake your Jewel. And staking your Jewel, you earn a return, and it's in X Jewel, and you get your X Jewel. When you claim your X Jewel, you actually get Jewel back, if that makes sense. So staking it in here allows you to qualify for airdrops, and I've already gotten one airdrop since I've been playing this game in 2 months. So basically my strategy has been like, I put in a decent amount of Jewel in here just to stake so that I could get rewards and airdrops and stuff. Now basically what I do is when I go to the gardens in my harvest, I can view my harvest. Whenever my unlocked Jewel gets above 10 Jewel, I think that's good enough for me to claim it. And then I'll claim it, and then it'll show, you know, 10 Jewel in my wallet. And then what I'll do is I'll come over to the jeweler, and then I'll just deposit my 10 Jewel with the jeweler, so that I'm always accumulating my Jewel and then staking it right away so that it goes into my pool and I'm making money on it. You know, I could add it to the gardens, but the gardens is a little more complicated because I have to add one as well, and then I have to go get the seeds, and then I have to plant the seeds. And since I'm only adding, you know, 10 Jewel at a time, I just figured I would just put it in the staking and just build my staking stack, because there's less risk in the staking stack. You know, there's impermanent loss risk when you're liquidity providing in the gardens. It's riskier because people could potentially pull out their and there's mechanisms in place, like that's why there's locked rewards and there's unlocked rewards, because if they gave you their full locked reward or the full rewards at once, it would just create, you know, more sell pressure on the market, and it would incentivize more people to withdraw their tokens and sell them. So there's mechanisms in place to help with the impermanent loss factor. So I feel better about gardening without that impermanent loss risk with DeFi Kingdoms, because they've thought of that. They've got, you know, protections in place to help mitigate that risk, but it's still there. Like, you need to be aware of it. Like, I thought about withdrawing when the markets got really shitty here in the past couple weeks. And look, I mean, it's still a possibility. Like, you got to be active. I've been watching the TVL. I've been watching the total amount deposited. I haven't seen this get below 100 million. So that's good. So yeah, I just basically been taking all of my jewel that I accrue from the gardens, depositing it with the jeweler, and then I get a little bit of staking rewards, airdrops, and then I'm also getting the gardens, and then I'm also taking advantage of the professions with my heroes, right? So let's complete the quest with my fishers and see what we got. Alright. 85 XP for one guy, a few bloaters, a lantern eye, red gill, fetches a decent price in gold, high market price on the silverfin, so not a bad haul. Fishing skill increase 0.1. And yeah, that's basically it. I mean, that's what I do. I'm getting what I'm doing to prepare for Crystalvale, because I'm definitely going to take advantage of the gardens, the ice gardens, because depositing the rewards for these gardens dissipates as time goes on. So the people that deploy to the gardens earlier actually get rewarded more crystal per block. So it's actually advantageous to take advantage of the gardens right away when they release this, because then you will get more rewards versus if you didn't deposit until May. Like, you would only get 12 per block. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be buying jewel. I might even unstake some of my jewel in the jeweler over here, take it over to Avalanche. I have some Avalanche on my Avalanche network. My Avalanche network has some Avalanche in there, so that when Crystalvale opens up, I'll have AVAX in there, because I'm assuming that one of the first gardens pairs is going to be like Crystal and AVAX. So I'll take my jewel or my one and I'll take it to the Dex in Crystalvale. I'll swap it for Crystal, and I'll use the Crystal and AVAX to garden or farm and take advantage of the high emission rate, or the high issuance rate for Crystal in the gardens right away. And then obviously I'll be looking to buy some heroes. I haven't decided. They had this perilous journey thing going on right now, where you could send your heroes to a perilous journey, and they had like a 40%, depending on how rare the hero is, their survival chance went up or down. And since I only had Gen 1 uncommons, which isn't like super rare NFTs, but like they're decent enough for me to do what I want with the game, they had like a 40% survival rate. So I was like, fuck that. Like, I'm not gonna, they give you a severance package if your hero does die and doesn't make it. You get like 25 jewel, some inventory items, some runes, some items that you can use in Crystalvale. But like, I'm just trying to use my NFTs to level up, to gain inventory, to gain gold, to gain jewel, to basically up my value, to pull as much value as I can from the game. So I didn't want to like risk that, sending them on the perilous journey, and coming out with 40% of my NFTs. I've only got like 5 of them, I think. So I mean, that'd be, coming out with 2 out of 5 would not be cool. I thought about sending my extra gardener and my extra fisherman, and that way I would just have one gardener, one fisherman, and one forager, but I decided against that because I like having two gardeners to rotate, while one is gaining stamina, while one is doing the quest. And that way when one gets done, I can switch to the other one, so having two is kind of beneficial. So yeah, that's basically all I got. I'm going to be preparing for Crystalvale March 30th. You know, I'm going to be aware around March 30th. That's when Crystalvale opens. I'm going to be watching the gardens because I have a feeling a lot of people will be pulling out their seeds from the gardens in the original DeFi Kingdoms over here and moving some of that capital to Crystalvale, which could risk impermanent loss. So I'm just going to be aware of that. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I think we're running a little long. Things are pumping a little bit. We're starting to look like we bottomed. Bitcoin looks good. We're kind of just in the cloud, the weekly cloud right now. This thing could keep going sideways. You know, I've been expecting a pop up to the mean, up into that 48K, which would also give us a retest of the yearly open at that 47K. And just kind of go from there. Yeah, certain things are pumping pretty good, but a lot of things were down really bad, so we're due. I'm in some Solana for a swing long. I think Solana could break out of this falling wedge. We've got some nice divs. I think we can at least mean revert, right? Get us back up into that 120, 130 for a nice little swing, and then kind of just see where we go from there. So that's all I got, guys. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, peace out. Send it.